Hey everybody, it's Tyler. Thank you again for tuning into my reviews. Today we're going to be looking at Transformers Combiner Wars Leader Class Ultra Magnus. Alright, let's take a look at vehicle mode. First we'll start with a figure that comes with Ultra Magnus. We'll talk a little bit more about this character at the end of the video if you really want to know about it, but this is Minimus Ambus. He is a tiny little white car. Looks decent enough. Really super small next to Ultra Magnus. His Autobot symbol looks really good on the front there. Yeah, we'll just move him aside. He doesn't really interact with the main vehicle at all. He just is kind of here. He doesn't have wheels, just kind of hovers. Ultra Magnus himself is a really cool vehicle mode. It's a futuristic kind of tractor-trailer setup, which really pulls off this kind of really aggressive, powerful character that Ultra Magnus is. He has most of the paint is up here in the front, and it looks really nice. It's got the white cab with the silver highlights, Autobot symbol right in the center, some yellow headlights, silver along the side. Little detail that some people overlook is that look how tiny that door is. It's small, you know, must be a massive truck. We got detail along the side, ladder molded in. Doesn't really pop with, you know, it just being one color plastic, but it looks pretty good. The back is just robot feet, so if you're looking at it from this angle, it doesn't look good at all. You're gonna want to obviously, if you're rolling around with this thing, just have it either on the side or at an angle. It looks really cool. You have the missiles, which are iconic for Ultra Magnus, up here on the shoulders or shoulders of the car. They do pop off if you don't want to display them, and you can also plug them into various parts of the vehicle. He obviously has ports for his two weapons as well, his guns, I should say. One of the features that the figure has, I guess, it's a feature, is this ability to kind of transport other vehicles. You can't really do it easily, and I mean, this kind of hides the fact that these are robot feet back here. You can bring it down, roll a car here. I know this is a Decepticon, but who cares? Roll Wild Rider up in there. You know, go into battle carrying some Autobots. It's a pretty cool feature. One item of note is that Ultra Magnus does not detach from his trailer. He is connected there, and it's part of the transformation, but obviously it is slightly separate, so looks good. Very awesome representation of the character. Let's transform him and see what else he's about. Alright, here's Ultra Magnus in his robot mode. Really tall, really impressive. A very sleek and stylized version of the character. Most of you will remember Ultra Magnus from the Transformers '86 movie. He's obviously a very prominent figure in the comics. This is basically a take on his design from the IDW universe. More recently, the More Than Meets comic series. It's very heavily inspired by that, but still, you know, it's classic enough to look like Ultra Magnus on the shelf. You won't be confusing him from any other character. One of the great details, I think, that are as a result of a really fun transformation is the way his cab is hidden inside the chest area. Most notably, you can see how these headlights still show up in robot mode right next to his cool red abs. It just adds an extra detail to the character to make him look really fun. He actually even looks pretty good from the back too. Not a huge backpack, just kind of the wheels tucked up in there. Various trailer bits all just kind of compressed into one awesome, impressive robot. He does have his shoulders his missiles have to come apart from the vehicle and then be plugged back in wherever you want them. Obviously they're supposed to go on the shoulders, and they've got this nice little panel that allows them to flex up like that if you need to do a wide pose with Magnus. One, let's just get this out of the way. I'm a little behind on the curve, but everybody knows this already. The huge disappointment with Ultra Magnus is that he's got really dumb hands. It's fun that they made him, you know, open, close like that, articulated slightly, but there's no real grip for his weapons in them. So you've got these really cool rifles that kind of have to just be squeezed in there, and then unless you're putting pressure on the fist to keep it closed, it's gonna fall right out when you're closing them. Look at that, that's garbage. Anyway, and then here's the real disappointment. The weapons combine. I guess it is Combiner Wars. They combine into a larger stick, but they're intended, this is where Ultra Magnus gets really, really badass. His shoulder missiles become the ends of a hammer. Awesome. Now, if only he could hold it well. It's just, you know, the most he can do is kind of just rock this, hey, I'm holding a hammer made out of missiles look. And that's just a little boring for me. I mean, I guess it's okay. But if you give a character an awesome weapon like that and you can't hold him, and let alone that, not only that, but no other character can hold this properly. So it's solely Ultra Magnus's lame weapons. Really, really, really wish they had given him just normal 5mm peg hands. Oh well. Let's pull in some figures for some quick comparison. You have him next to another leader class character, Megatron. Roughly the same height, look really cool standing next to each other. Look a little weird, obviously him being an Autobot, but whatever. And then you have Hotspot. Looks pretty good. Move these guys aside. Last but not least, probably the best feature for Ultra Magnus, this version of the character. It makes me so happy that this guy even exists. He does have seating for Minimus Ambus. Kind of just folds out of the armor like that. And here you have this tiny little dude. If it would focus, he's so freaking tiny. He's got his really, really cool little Fu Manchu facial hair, red eyes, cool lime green color scheme, and just, I mean, look how tiny this dude is. So freaking tiny. Anyway, if you haven't already guessed or you're not paying attention in comics, spoiler alert, Minimus Ambus is essentially the character that is Ultra Magnus, just in this giant suit of armor. It's a big shocker in the actual story. It's really cool turn of events, and probably one of the most fun things about the character in the IDW universe is that it's just this tiny little guy inside this massive suit of armor that's supposed to represent more than just one individual, transformer. Ultra Magnus is more of an idea, a figure, an important concept, and he represents, justice and law. And in order to continue that legacy, they had to fulfill. Rambling aside, basically, Minimus Ambus is basically playing the role of Ultra Magnus, even though Ultra Magnus has died repeatedly. He lives on in the form of Minimus Ambus inside the actual armor. Nobody knows this until it's revealed in the comics, and it's a really fun little twist. And the fact that Hasbro has gone so far out of its way to please the hardcore kind of comic reading segment of their fan base, and included such a cool feature like Minimus Ambus inside of Ultra Magnus, it's a great time to be a Transformer fan. outside of the crappy hands. Thanks for listening to me ramble a little bit about Ultra Magnus in the comics. If you're not reading More Than Meets the Eye, it is definitely a series you should pick up. If you're a casual Transformers fan who likes comics, pick it up. If you're a comic book fan and you're somehow watching this video about Transformer toys, you should definitely be reading More Than Meets the Eye. It's a lot of fun. This is a really, really awesome representation of Ultra Magnus from that universe, and I don't think anybody should pass up on this figure, even with its faults. Thanks so much for listening to the rambling. We'll see you next time.